It's not randomization at all. What are the curricular goals? What are the competencies that need to be achieved? We kept that in front of us, and accordingly we chose the or designed the activities. And also, as I told you in the beginning, that themes have also been taken from NEP 2020 and NCFSE 2023. Content is age appropriate and it is inclusive. In our textbooks, you will find that there is something for everyone. That is one inclusivity. Another inclusivity is that, we have talked about, people who have some disability, and we have shown them in a perspective that, we all can work together. And then there are in-text activities that are very engaging. They promote joyful learning, and also activities have been designed in such a manner that assessment as learning, assessment for learning, and assessment of learning can happen while the children are doing the activities. So I will explain about assessment when we reach the activities. So other cornerstones are that focus is on developing the competencies such as listening, speaking, reading, writing, but they are not in isolation. They are context-based, and the context we have taken from the story or the poem or a play or any biographical note or a letter that is part of the textbook, and we have designed the activities based on that. And vocabulary and grammar are also developed, but they are in context, not in isolation. Cross-cutting themes such as Indian knowledge system, values, gender sensitivity, and art and culture have been integrated in all the units in some form or the other. They have been integrated. Then illustrations are, they, depict the Indian ethos, Indian context. These are the cornerstones, and these are the thematic units that we have. So our thematic units, you must be wondering that, the first unit is on learning together. So learning together, the day the river spoke, try again, 3 days to see. Now thematic unit does not mean that, the theme is very narrow. Here we have taken 360-degree coverage of the theme. So learning together, the very first story is about, we can learn from nature also. Nature is always trying to teach us something or the other. We need to become sensitive towards that. We need to observe. We need to, minutely see things around us. There are birds who are trying to, we can learn from them. So learning together, and then try again. Now try again, you must have read this poem somewhere. It's about the king and the spider, or this particular poem is there in story form as well in some anthologies that I have seen. So it is that, the king has learned from the spider. As I said, we learn from nature. We learn from things around us. So he's learning from that spider. That spider is going up and comes back, and this king has lost, his war many a times. He fought for his country many a times, but he lost it. But finally, the spider reaches the web. So that gives the incentive to the king. Yes, why can't I do it? So I will try again once again. So there are learning elements everywhere. We need to become observant. We need to become too sensitive things around us. Then 3 days to see. Once again, this is about Helen Keller. And, she wishes that if she gets just 3 days to see, what will she say? What will she see? First, she says, I want to see those people who were very kind to me. Till now, she said, I was knowing them, I was touching them on their faces, their expressions, I couldn't see. But, on their face, how the cheeks were going up or the eyes were narrowing. That was the idea. I felt, yes, they're very kind. She says, next day I want to see the rising sun. I want to see how the sun rises. I want to see the beauty of nature, which people describe. But somehow, I have not seen it. Third day, she says, once again, I want to see the world around me. How people are going to different offices, how people are going for work. And then last of all, she says that we must learn to respect our senses. But at the same time, we have given a piece as an activity in this particular write-up that, where we are talking about digital technology, that how, in today's world, technology has, advanced so much that people who cannot see through computer, they can, read, they can listen to so many things. It helps them in learning, and also the colors also computer can tell them. See, I want to wear a magenta dress today. So there are softwares, if you take it near the computer will tell you. So we have shown that, things are moving and we have been able to move ahead in life. I'll come to activities later, but let's talk about the themes. The next theme is wit and humor. Yes, there is something interesting for our children. They should enjoy. Animals, birds, and Dr. Dolittle. So here, Dr. Dolittle learns the language of animals. Now you must be wondering, what language? It's once again not any language. Animals also have their gestures through their body language. They tell us. So he became a very famous doctor. And then a funny man. Now, a funny man, like he does a lot of funny things. Sometimes he will, stand upside down and things like that. And children, love to watch such actions. Then Say the Right Thing. This is a play. And here, the mother is trying to tell the daughter that, you must say the right thing at the right time. But, towards the end, the girl, makes a mistake. It's funny. And then Dreams and Discoveries. So My Brother's Gate Invention, again, this is about the age group of class 7 and 8 students. This boy thinks that he can, invent so many things. He's always doing something or the other. And that's a very funny story. When you will read it with your students, you're going to enjoy it. Then Paper Boats by Rabindranath Tagore. Now, all of us have dreams. Even children have dreams. This particular child makes paper boats, put some shioli flowers into it, and send them. She says, there are fairies, there are princesses who will read my wishes, and when I will sleep, they will come true. So how, Rabindranath Tagore is, looking at the wishes of the students. The north, south, east, west. Here is a child who is writing small postcards to her friends because she has gone on a visit to see India with her parents. And wherever she goes, she writes a postcard about that one event, and she covers the entire India. So you see, therefore, north, south, east, and west. And children come to know about different locations. And also, she writes her little anecdotes here. Travel and adventure, then the tunnel. How the child is intrigued by the tunnel, how the train comes out of it. So he goes there, spends the day with the watchman to see how the train looks in the morning and how the train looks in the night when it comes through the tunnel. And also then there are episodes in between. Then once again, travel. The poet wants to travel to different places and make new friends. Then conquering the summit. Now this is about Arunima Sinha. She, as you all must be knowing, that she, in an accident, she lost her leg, her limb, but she didn't lose heart. So that was a challenge. She, mustered courage, and she has scaled 7 peaks of the world. And of course, Mount Everest is one of them. Then Brave Hearts. It's our homage to brave soldiers. I think it's time now we have to, sensitize our students that, the security that we have, the peace that we have, we live peacefully, we do all the things because our soldiers are, serving us 24/7. And it's a homage to those soldiers who have laid down their lives for the sake of the nation. Here, 2 children have shared their views after visiting the National War Memorial and how they felt. They're writing letters to each other, sharing what feelings they had and how they felt, grateful to to our soldiers. Then, My Dear Soldiers, another beautiful poem. They said, you do a lot for us, and it's time for us to thank you. Then, of course, Rani Abakka. As I told you, it is, we have covered a range. Rani Abakka, long back, she fought with the Portuguese for her land near Karnataka. So that is how we have taken the thematic themes. And themes are not restrictive. They open up into different directions. Children learn new words, new context, how to use them in different contexts. And this will help them across the curriculum. The words that they are learning here, probably they will be able to use in social science and also science. So next is, I've already discussed all the units, so I will skip this and we come to glimpses before we read activities. So before we read activities are, motivate or to, sort of take the children into the theme, and these activities have been designed keeping their age, interest and level in mind, so that, they can easily, give input. They can easily give answers from their experience, because our pedagogy is experiential learning, contextual learning. Children's contexts are very important. So therefore, the activities that have been designed here, children can relate to their context. And the idea was to have different views in the classroom, so that every child can tell us something new from their experience, from their context. Okay, it is learner-centered. So learners' views are equally important in the classroom. This curriculum is for them. They have to enjoy it. So every lesson, poem has, before you read, activities. And next we have end of the lesson activities. We have, given lots of activities. Let us discuss activities are given in between the lesson. We have broken the long lessons into two parts, so that children don't lose their interest, and then, there is some discussion in the classroom in between. And this discussion is also, very basic discussion. And one of the questions is which takes them forward. They are not on comprehension questions. They are some thinking questions also. So then we come to let us think and reflect. Now let us think and reflect questions. You will have R2C, referring to the context, and you will have longer questions also, where, critical thinking, problem solving, and their own views. Why? If yes, why? If not, why? They have to deliberate on that. There can be a discussion in the classroom. There can be some debate in the classroom. Why not? So therefore, they are able to share their views. Then we come to let us learn. Now, let us learn once again is vocabulary in context and grammar in context. You must be wondering why we have given the title Let Us Learn. Because here they are going to learn from the text, as well as they are going to go beyond the text. Because we are not restricting our students to the vocabulary that's given in the text only. So therefore, we are taking them beyond the text. After we take examples from the text, we give them activities which we will take them beyond the text, and then they will use them in their context, keeping their experiences in view, or they can always refer back to the text. So that is let us learn. And of course, let us learn also has grammar component in this. So grammar activities have also been taken in context. Suppose there is a lot of past tense that is used in this particular text. So we will use that text as an example and tell them where it is used, this particular tense, and how it is used. And at the same time, we give them examples, and then they are asked to frame more sentences. Maybe they can write a story using past tense, or they can describe something, what they did in the evening yesterday, and all of that. So like this, we are taking them forward as well as keeping it contextual. Then, of course, we have this activity, let us write. And when they come to, in between we have let us speak also. We have let us speak also. So here, once again, it is thematically chosen. It's thematically chosen, and they speak about that. Then we have let us listen. This listen is also a kind of a learning for the students. So they will listen to the text. Now in QR code, you will find the text. Of course, to facilitate the teachers, we have given the text at the end of the unit also. And children will listen to it, they will listen to it twice, and then they will listen and answer the questions. Because when they are learning English as second language, it is very important to listen to the language. Because, different kinds of pronunciations are there, different, tasks are there, some are specific, some are comprehension, some are general. So they must learn to listen the text and be able to respond to it. Then let us speak. Of course, I have already talked about it. Now this is a beautiful example. Children are, they can choose any picture and they can talk about it. What they want to be in life or why they like this particular profession. So here somewhere we are touching it with the vocational aspects as well. Because from class 6 onwards, vocations have also been introduced, vocational courses. So they are already, having some idea about it, and they will be able to speak about it. And then we have, let us write. And when we come to let us write, we have not left the students unattended. There is a lot of scaffolding. Now, for example, in this particular task, we have asked the student to observe the nature around them for a week. Just write down what you observe. Birds, plants, or anything else. They can, write about animals. They can write about friends. What are they observing? Are they observing the colors in the nature? Are they observing something unusual? So they will make notes. That is how writing begins. Writing doesn't start on the very first day. You have to have something beforehand. So lot of scaffolding, and after that they will write the paragraph to describe it. They will have their own ideas. Therefore, every child's experience becomes important. Every child's observation becomes important. So we have lots of activities beyond the text. They connect us to our Indian knowledge system. They take us forward also. Like in this unit Travel and Adventure, we have talked about the tunnel, that Atal Tunnel. We have also talked about Make in India, Vande Bharat train. We have talked about what is happening now, how India is moving forward, and at the same time, how, we were very rich so far our Indian knowledge system was concerned. And then there is a lot of interactivity. Now, if they look at such pictures, children, see, as I said, the funny man, children enjoy such thing, okay? They enjoy, if anybody is doing some activity in front of them. There are a lot of riddles also. And at the same time, when I talked about assessment, the assessment happens on site while the activity is going on. Because all the activities are, at the level of the students. And if they have any problem, they can always go back to the text, pick up the sentence, pick up the word, read it again, come back and do it. So self-assessment and peer assessment. It can happen on the spot. And assessment for learning, the teacher is also observing. If she finds that a particular activity children are finding it very difficult to do, she can always modify it. Why not? You can change it. You can ask the students to do first half, and then probably they can move on to the next part. So then, this is how we are preparing the students. Assessment is also happening on simultaneously. So these are the beautiful illustrations that we have. This is about, that boy who is intrigued that how the train looks when it comes out of a tunnel, and how it looks in the morning and how it looks at night. And of course, now I come back to the bridge program for grade 8. Now in grade 8, bridge program, you will find that, there is a similarity of, activities, right? And children can learn. See, class 6 also we have thematics units, class 7 also. And activities are competency based so that we are able to cover the learning outcomes. So the bridge program is, to provide teachers with, something so that, they can bridge the gap, because children were doing old curriculum, now this new curriculum. And NEP 2020 recommends, connecting competency-based education and following the competency-based teaching, experiential learning. So you will find that, it's a kind of a smooth transition. And the lessons that we have chosen are not very difficult. And again, bridge program, here, lot of scaffolding once again has been given, and teachers are free to modify the activities if they feel, and it will really help the students and the teachers to, maintain that continuity and do not feel. So there are a few things for the teacher, provide a personalized learning experience, encourage them to give their own experiences. Activities should be designed to enhance the competency of the students, encourage students to read the text on their own. Therefore, we have given last story, A Rupee Goes a Long Way, to read, so that children develop the habit of reading. And of course, therefore, the library period is also there. And so we are covering all three aspects over here. Now, once again, for the teacher, that, the goal is to create a classroom environment that is engaging, that is enjoyable, and that involves all the students. And there is continuous assessment, and encourage students to, read on their own. And then I have written curricular goals over here. I would have loved to explain, because these curricular goals are for middle stage, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So how, we can help the students to develop, achieve these curricular goals through the competencies and the learning outcomes. Okay? And these are some curricular goals. Keep them in mind. I will not read them because they are there in NCF. They are over here also. And bridge goals comprises 3 pieces. The white elephant, it's a Jataka tale. Once again, we have taken the story from the Jataka tales, how this white elephant looks after his mother. Even when the king takes him away, he does not eat any food. And the king asks him why. He says, I can't leave my mother. So those values are there. Then poem is Cloud Play, nature once again. See clouds, how they are forming, different shapes, different colors, and when it rains, we enjoy. Story for reading, A Rupee Goes a Long Way, and how one child has a rupee, which is an old coin. Now, nobody takes it, but he does the barter system. You take this, I'll take your string. Okay, yeah, you take this, I will take your this. Finally, that child gets a real 1 rupee coin and goes and buys the jalebis that he wants to eat. And then he shares it with his friend also. So with this, there are activities once again, which I have already explained in the textbook. On the same pattern, we have designed the activities. And there is one activity for an example. A homonym is a word that has the same spelling or pronunciation as another word, but has a different meaning. Read the following words. And we have given the meaning. Now the child has to write sentences using these words in different contexts. So we have taught the child, we have shared the meaning, and now we have asked them to write it. That is just an example of an activity. And then there are many more activities. Then we have crosswords, binomials, palindrome, acrostic poem, find the difference, homonyms, collocation, adjectives, you name it, and we have tried to give all kinds of activities. And with this, I have come to the end of my session. Thank you for your kind attention. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, for your excellent presentation on Purvi. We can take a couple of questions, I think. Any question from YouTube? No. Yeah, there is one question from Dipti Basaria. She is asking, do we have any supplementary books for grade 6 or grade 7?
No, actually, we have not yet given any supplementary reader, because there is a lot of focus on reading on their own, library period. So that, children go to the library, pick up the text, choose the story that they want to read. See, when they pick up the story on their own, they know this is my interest, this is my age appropriate text and I can enjoy and read it. It can be a graphic story, it can be cartoon, it can be a short story, it can be a novella or anything. But you need to showcase those stories to the students in the library period. Let them choose on their own. Yeah. And also we have stories here and extra reading poems also. They can read that also. That's the idea.
There's another question from Shilpa Dawal. When we are going to opt these books from this session or for the next session?
Here, now. Now.
Yeah. This is for 25-26. Purvi is already available. You can show it. Yeah, it is already released, and there are many questions about this textbook for grade 7. It is available. You can contact the NCERT distributors. The Purvi grade 7 is already printed and it is available. And even it will be available through online also, Amazon and Flipkart.
Oh.
And the rest of the textbooks also will be coming for grade 7. Don't worry about the grade 7 textbooks. Many queries are coming. We are making that it will be available by next weekend. And you will be getting those textbooks from the NCERT distributors as well. And grade 8 textbooks will take another month. And we already told you that we have developed a bridge program for grade 8 since it is a new textbook, and grade 7 students are, we are repeatedly focusing this thing. Grade 7 students, those who are coming to grade 8, they completed the old curriculum, old textbook. That is the reason we are coming with the bridge program and the new pedagogy, new approaches, new features. We need to introduce the students as well as teachers. Therefore, we request all the teachers to use bridge program for grade 8 mandatorily. This is a mandatory thing. Every teacher need to use grade 8 bridge program. It is available. All the bridge programs are available on NCERT website. You please go through NCERT website. Under document session, you will get all these bridge programs. You please download your respective bridge program and use it for grade 8 students. And even you can use it as a terminal assessment for assessing your terminal part. Also, the activities given in bridge program, it is an integrated way you can use. This is for all teachers. I think we have no other question related with the grade 7 textbook, ma'am? Yeah, is the bridge course chapters are a part of new textbooks? I already addressed this thing. Grade 8 bridge program is a part and parcel. You need to take grade 8 bridge programs. Then once the grade 8 textbooks will come, you can start grade 8 textbooks after completing bridge program for grade 8 for 6 weeks. This is a 6-week program. Mandatorily you need to use that 6-week program. Then you can start grade 8 textbooks.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. From where we can access the PDF of these new English textbooks, and it will be soon available on NCERT website. You wait. Once our textbooks, all textbooks are released, we will be uploading on our website. You can see under publication there is a option for downloading all our textbooks. Not now. You have to wait for PDF version.
Yeah.
Yeah, bridge program we are not providing you in a printed version. You can download it. It consists of maximum 50 pages, 50 to 60 pages. The school can take it, print out, and then you can bind it as a book.
Okay.
These are the some of the questions came related with English as well as bridge program. Thank you very much, ma'am, for focusing on grade 7 textbooks Purvi as well as bridge program for grade 8, and you focus on the thematic approach, you focus on the pedagogical aspect, the assessment aspect, and how these are connected, and the exercise, integrated assessment, the beyond the test activities and all you clarified, and thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
welcome back once again. Now we are moving to mathematics textbooks. We will be having a discussion on grade 7 mathematics textbook and the features of grade 8 textbooks, as well as the bridge program we developed for grade 8 textbooks. And for that we have with us Professor A.K. Vasarwar, who is presently heading Planning Monitoring Division at NCERT, a mathematics professor who is the coordinator of middle stage as well as the secondary stage textbook, and he has been involved in the development of various textbooks for NCERT, other teaching learning materials like exemplar programs, learning outcome, NISTA. There are lots of activities he has been involved, and he is continuously involved in teacher training, supporting the teachers across the country, especially in the area of mathematics. And I would like to extend a warm welcome to Professor A.K. Vasarwarji for this session. He will be focusing grade 7 mathematics textbook as well as bridge program. Over to Vasarwarji.
Namaskar to all. Namaskar to all of you. I'm here to talk about the textbook for mathematics for class 7, which will be made available soon, very soon, to the education system in general. Now, these textbooks which we are developing are based, as you already know, on National Education Policy 2020 and NCFSE 2023. Now, the expectation of these documents is that the concepts should be learned in a playway method. As you know that mathematics itself is an abstract subject. The principles that are involved are more important. And how to draw attention to these principles is a major problem, is a major concern. Because if the students are not able to understand those algorithms, the way they are being formed, and the use of these algorithms in a simple way, they won't get attracted towards it, and more importantly, they won't be able to explore further things in that. So exploration of the concepts is more important, and we want to draw the attention of students towards this exploration part. Now, these textbooks that are being developed, or this particular textbook that is being developed, is attempting to draw the attention of students towards this fact. Throughout the textbook, you will find that there are lots of activities, puzzles, games, etc., where they are not just for the sake of these things, but where the students get involved in solving them. It is expected that with the help of teacher, they will be able to solve and get engrossed in doing all these things, so that ultimately what happens is they gain conceptual understanding. Without their knowing that they are doing such an abstract thing, they automatically gain the understanding of that if they get involved in such things. And this is what is being done in our textbooks, right? Last year also we developed class 6 textbook. This year we are developing the class 7 textbook, and this is an important feature of our textbooks. So what we expect from the teachers is that the teachers should facilitate, as you might have heard, teacher is a facilitator who facilitates the learning of concepts among the children. And this is what is an opportunity for you all, that after going through the book, you will be able to yourself enjoy the book, enjoy the concepts, the way they have been developed, the way they have been introduced, the way they have been gaining depth. These things will definitely involve you in reading these textbooks, and of course, similarly, you can pass it on, that particular spirit, among the students whom you are teaching. So this is a most important part of our textbook based on the NEP 2020. You can see that in this presentation I'm going to talk about a few things about the textbook. The first two chapters are the leftover chapters that we intended to do in class 6. Large numbers around us and arithmetic expressions, but due to some or the other reason, it could not be done there. So they have been introduced as chapter 1 and chapter 2, sort of the transition chapters that we call them. And then there are total in all 8 chapters. There are 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we have 8 chapters. In part 2, we have another bunch of 7 chapters. And you can see that there is a variety of things here. It is a combination of number system, combination of geometry, statistics, and all these things are intertwined together in different ways. So the placement of the chapters is an important part here. If the teacher wants to follow that particular order, it's well and good. Otherwise, they have their own choice to do that. And you can see the names of these chapters. That is more important. Some of the names is a peak beyond the point, by which we mean the decimals. Then the other is a tail of 3 intersecting lines. We mean here the triangles. Geometric twins, in the second part you can see, we are talking about congruence. So these are some of the things that could attract the attention of the students. They can think over this, why these names have been coined, and they can relate it to the concept that is being taught or that is being given in those chapters. And when they discuss it in the classroom, they will enjoy it more. You can have a glimpse of one of the pages of this chapter where you can see that the placement of the concepts is being developed. The concepts are being developed from day-to-day life examples, and slowly it is being related to the mathematical thing, the mathematical concept. So this is about expressions using letter numbers. So we are talking about the algebraic part here, and how these letter numbers come into play. That has been done in this particular chapter. So there are different instances, there are different activities that are being discussed here, and using that, then slowly we introduce the concept of the letter, that is X, Y, Z, Mn, Lmn, etc. later on. Another thing is, you can see here there are question marks put in different places. When the teacher discusses the concepts with the students in a particular flow, what happens is, such questions that are there, had they not been marked there, they would have been neglected by the teachers and students. They are very much required for the discussion. And so these things, in order to attract the attention of the students and teachers towards these important questions or points during their discussion, these question marks have been put, so that when they arrive at that question mark, they should discuss with the students, they should allow the students to talk about it, allow the students to discuss among the peers, with their friends, and so on. There is a separate thing called the exercise also, but we are calling it figure it out. So figure it out will have the numbers, and they will have formal questions also. But these questions are again based on the realistic situation, the situations that have been discussed earlier in the chapter. So this particular combination of things make the chapter more interesting, the concepts more interesting. You can see here that there are certain things that are the key aspects of the features, or the salient features, I can say, of this particular textbook. There are things like conceptual understanding and meaning making. These are the important aspects of learning mathematics. So for conceptual understanding, I will give you an example that in the chapter on, in a certain chapter, there are situations where it makes rounding off things we talk about. We simply plainly tell them that if it is more than 5, round it off to the next number, and so on. But here what we are doing is, we are giving a situation. I will just read it. There are situations where it makes sense to round up a number, and there are situations where we are required to round down also. So for example, if a school has 732 people, including students, teachers, and staff, the principal might order 750 sweets for them. So it has been rounded up because the situation demands that. And there is another situation where we say that if the cost of an item is rupees 470, the shopkeeper may say that the cost is around rupees 450 instead of saying that it is around rupees 500. So you can judge the difference. If he slightly lessens the price, and if he slightly increases the price, what happens on his sales. So this is something related to the daily life situation, where how manipulations can also help many times in understanding the things. And these particular things have been taken care of in this particular chapter. The other thing that is important is thinking and reasoning. The example for this is, we have a calculation, right, 116 into 5, that has been done as 116 into 10 by 2. It is easier for me to calculate 116 divided by 2 and I get the final answer. Or I can say 824 multiplied by 25 can be 824 into 100 by 4. So this can also be done in a 824 rather, not 825, divided by 4 is easier to calculate and then multiplied by 100. Now these are the things where students, though they know all these concepts, they know the division, they know the multiplication and all that, but if it is used in a particular way, if it is used in a systematic way, how helpful it is in calculating such examples. And this particular thing has been brought to the notice of the students through such examples. So that is one more thing. Then we are focusing on procedures also. For example, what will be the nth term for multiple of 2, or what is the nth even number? Now we have to think about it. How to calculate the even numbers? What is the form